environment. I said a little bit about whether or not the newspapers. When I see the internet as really a sort of like when newspapers first started. There were just no rules and regulations. Anyone who was able to print anything they wanted. And over the years, we have developed through lawsuits, practice, different kinds of ethics that really tell us how we should operate or how a journalist should operate. I don't know if that's going to help us on the internet, but moving the discussion to journalism ethics on the internet. I have a couple of questions for the panelists and for the students. Do the tenets that we have in place apply on the internet? How can we apply them? Should we apply them? How can we set ourselves apart as journalists from all the other stuff on the internet? And how do we help the public understand if we do decide to operate as we do with newspapers and broadcast radio on the internet? How do we educate the public in terms of understanding that we are a little bit different than everybody else that's putting stuff on the internet? And we're working within the framework of a code of ethics. And I am going to post here the SPJ code of ethics. Dominic, maybe you can address that a little bit?
I think on the internet, especially when it comes to news, people usually get information from Google News, Yahoo News, or something going somewhere else. I read one article recently which showed that while people were getting information from various sources, they were always going to the ones they trusted, just to know what's happening really. Because CNN, Fox News, double check it. Most people do go to more than one source. But I think because of ethics, because of journalism ethics, people know what they can rely on. They know that CNN is not going to make up a story. You might have heard it somewhere else, but let me just double check with the Newsday or CNN or something. Chris, what do you want to say?
Just when I hear the word ethics, I just think it goes beyond the internet, beyond newspapers. It's a journalist calling, so to speak, to do everything that you do as a journalist with ethical boundaries. If you go to journalism school or a school of communication, and you get a degree and you get a job, I wouldn't think that anybody should ever be unethical in their practices as a communication professional. I mean, it's just, to me, that's just illogical. But obviously, there's so many people that are doing things that break ethical boundaries.